Have you ever stopped and counted 12 years of school, hundreds of tests, thousands of hours sitting in a classroom? They taught you how to read. They taught you how to write. They taught you the names of rivers and the dates of wars. But not one teacher, not one class, not one single lesson ever told you how money actually works. No one taught you how to keep it. No one taught you how to grow it. No one taught you why most people work their whole lives and still have nothing to show for it. And that is not an accident. This lesson is for English learners who want more than words. It is for your future, your freedom, your real life. Today, we are going to change that. By the end of this video, the way you think about money will never be the same. You will not need a finance degree. You will not need to be born rich. You will just need to understand the rules. The real rules. The ones they never put in any textbook. Because here is the truth. The school taught you to work for money. No one taught you to make money work for you. There are hidden rules to building wealth. Rules that rich people know. Rules that poor people were never shown. Rules that can change everything if you learn them at the right time. Today is that time. We have 8 rules. 8 lessons that school skipped. 8 ideas that if you apply even one of them starting today will put you on a completely different path. Are you ready? Let us begin. Rule 1. School teaches you to earn, not to keep. Think about everything you learned in school. Mathematics, history, geography, chemistry. You spent years studying subjects that took real effort, real time, real energy. And most of that knowledge you use maybe once or twice in your adult life. But money? You use money every single day. Every morning when you buy breakfast. Every month when you pay rent. Every year when you wonder where all your salary went. Money is the most practical subject in real life, and school almost completely ignored it. Why? Robert Kiyosaki, the author of one of the most read books about personal finance in the world, said it simply. Most people are taught to work for money. They go to school, they get a degree, they find a job, they earn a salary. And that salary feels like success. It feels like the finish line. But it is not the finish line. It is just the starting point. And nobody tells you what to do next. They taught you math. They taught you history. They taught you science. But no one taught you how to keep the money you earn. Meet Marcus. He is 34 years old. He works as an engineer. Good job. Stable salary. His colleagues respect him. His parents are proud of him. On paper, Marcus looks successful. But open his bank account, and you will see a different story. After rent, after food, after his phone bill, after small purchases here and there, Marcus finishes every month with almost nothing. Sometimes less than nothing. Marcus is not lazy. Marcus is not stupid. Marcus just never learned the rules. And Marcus is not alone. Millions of people live exactly like him. Earning well, spending faster, ending up empty. Here is the difference between a school mindset and a wealth mindset. A school mindset says, get a good job, earn good money, and life will take care of itself. A wealth mindset says, earning money is just the first step. Keeping it growing and making it work for you, that is where real financial life begins. School gave you the first step. It never showed you the rest of the staircase, and that is what today is about. Not earning more, not working harder, understanding the rules that nobody wrote on your blackboard. The school taught you to work for money. No one taught you to make money work for you. Rule 1 is simply this: awareness. Know that your education has a gap, a serious gap, and the moment you accept that, you can start to fill it. Not with shame, not with regret, with knowledge, with action, with the next 7 rules. Rule 2. Pay yourself first. Let me ask you a question. At the end of every month, after you pay your rent, after you pay your bills, after you buy food, after you spend on small things you barely remember, whatever is left, that is what you save. Right, that is what most people do. And that is exactly the problem. Because at the end of the month, most people have nothing left. Maybe a little. Maybe just enough to feel okay, but not enough to build anything real. Not enough to change anything. Month after month, year after year, the cycle repeats. Earn, spend, hope something is left. It never is. Here is the rule that changes everything. Do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. Say that again slowly in your mind. Do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. This is called paying yourself first. And it is one of the oldest, most powerful rules in personal finance. Before you pay your landlord, before you pay the phone company, before you pay anyone else, you pay yourself. You put money aside for your future self. First, not last. It is not about how much you earn. It is not about how hard you work. It is about what you keep. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history, has lived in the same house since 1958. A modest house, nothing special from the outside. A man worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and he did not upgrade his house every time his bank account grew. He understood something most people never learn. The number on your paycheck is not your wealth. Your wealth is what you keep, what you protect, what you put to work. So how much should you pay yourself first? A simple starting point is 10%. 10% of everything you earn goes to you first, before anything else. If you earn $1,000, $100 goes into a separate account immediately. You do not touch it. You do not think about it. It is not for this month. It is for your future. Now, some of you are thinking, I cannot afford to save 10%. My expenses are already too high, and I understand that feeling. But here is the hard truth. If you cannot save 10% now, you will not be able to save later either. Because your expenses will always grow to meet your income. That is just human nature. The only way to break the cycle is to take the 10% out first before your brain has time to spend it. Start with 10%. If that is truly impossible right now, start with 5. Start with 3. Start with 1. But start. The habit matters more than the amount in the beginning. Marcus, our engineer from Rule 1, tried this. The first month was uncomfortable. He had less money to spend. He felt restricted. But at the end of the month, for the first time in years, he had something in his account that was not supposed to be spent. It was small, but it was his. And that feeling, that small but real feeling of control, changed something in him. Pay yourself first, not last, not if there is something left. First. Because the school taught you to work for money. No one taught you to make money work for you. And money can only work for you if you keep some of it. Rule 3. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take it out. This is possibly the most important vocabulary in personal finance. 2 words. Assets, liabilities. And once you truly understand the difference, you will never look at money the same way again. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. That is it. That is the whole definition. Simple. But most people spend their entire lives buying liabilities and calling them assets. Let me show you what I mean. Think about your neighbor. You know the one. New car every 3 years, latest phone every 12 months, big television, nice clothes, eating at good restaurants every weekend. From the outside, he looks successful. He looks like he is doing well. People notice him. People admire him. But here is what you do not see. Every month, that car costs him a payment. That phone is on a credit plan. Those restaurant meals went on a card that charges him interest. He is not building wealth. He is performing wealth. And those are two completely different things. If it pays you, it is an asset. If you pay for it every month, it is a liability. If it loses value the moment you buy it, it is a trap. A car that takes you to work is not an asset. It is a tool. The moment you drive it off the lot, it loses value. A car that earns you money, a taxi, a delivery vehicle, a rental that is closer to an asset. A phone is not an asset. A phone that you use to run a business that earns more than it costs, that moves toward being an asset. The difference is not the object. The difference is the direction the money flows. Now here is the part that surprises most people. Are you ready? For many people, their house is not an asset. I know, that goes against everything you have been told. Your parents told you to buy a house. Society told you owning a home is the dream. And owning a home can be wonderful for many reasons. But if you are paying a mortgage every month, paying property taxes, paying for repairs, paying for insurance, and the house is not generating any income for you, then money is flowing out of your pocket, not into it. By the strict definition, it is a liability. This does not mean do not buy a house. It means understand what you are buying. Know which direction the money is flowing, and be honest with yourself about it. Looking rich and being rich are two completely different lives. One is a performance. One is a foundation. Your neighbor with the new car is performing. The quiet person across the street who owns 2 small apartments and drives a 7-year-old vehicle is building. The wealthy do not ask, does this look good? They ask, does this pay me? Start asking that question about every significant purchase you make. Not obsessively, not about every cup of coffee, but about the big decisions. The car, the apartment, the gadget that costs 3 months of savings. Ask yourself, is this an asset or a liability? Is this putting money into my future or taking it out? Because every dollar you spend on a liability is a dollar that could have been working for you instead. And once you see the world through this lens, you cannot unsee it. The game changes. Your choices change. And slowly your financial life changes with them. Rule 4. Your lifestyle is your biggest enemy. You worked hard for 3 years. Your boss noticed. You got a promotion. Your salary went up by $300 a month. Congratulations. You deserved it. So what did you do next? You moved to a slightly bigger apartment. Nothing crazy, just a little more space, a little more comfort. You upgraded your phone. The old one still worked, but the new one felt like a reward. You started eating out a little more often. You bought better clothes, small upgrades, reasonable upgrades. You earned it, right? And 12 months later, despite earning more than ever before, you saved exactly the same amount as before. Maybe less. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is one of the most silent, most dangerous traps in personal finance. Every time your income goes up, your spending goes up to match it, sometimes faster. The gap between what you earn and what you keep never grows. It just moves to a higher number. You got a raise. You bought a bigger phone. You moved to a bigger apartment. You drove a better car. And somehow you still had nothing left. Sound familiar? It should, because this is not a rare story. This is the default story. This is what happens automatically if you are not paying attention. Your lifestyle expands to fill your income the same way water fills a container. It just happens, without a decision, without a plan. Now meet Diana. Diana is not a CEO. She is not an investor. She is not someone you would read about in a business magazine. Diana is a woman in her 60s who spent most of her working life selling vegetables at a small market stall. Her income was modest. Some months it was very modest. But Diana had one habit. Every single week, without exception, she put a small amount of money aside. Not a lot. Sometimes it was barely anything. but she never touched it. She did not upgrade her lifestyle every time she had a good week. She did not buy things to celebrate small wins. She just quietly, consistently kept that habit alive for decades. When Diana passed away, her family discovered she had left behind more than anyone expected. Not a fortune, but enough. Enough to pay for her grandchildren's education. Enough to give her children a real start from a vegetable stall. From one small habit protected from lifestyle inflation for 40 years. Diana understood something most high earners never learn. It is not about how much flows in. It is about how much stays. The school taught you to work for money. No one taught you to make money work for you. And money cannot work for you if you spend every raise before it has a chance to grow. So, here is the discipline. Every time your income increases, make a rule for yourself. Half of the increase goes to your future. Half can go to your lifestyle. You still get to enjoy the reward. You still get to feel the progress, but you force your savings to grow at the same time your spending grows. This is not about living like a monk. This is not about punishing yourself for success. This is about being intentional, conscious, in control. Most people let their lifestyle make their financial decisions for them. The wealthy make their financial decisions first and let their lifestyle follow. Your income is not your enemy. Your lifestyle left without discipline is. Protect the gap every single time. Rule 5. Time is the ingredient money cannot replace. If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of financial advice, what would it be? Most people say the same thing. Start earlier. Not earn more. Not work harder. Not choose a better career. Just start earlier. Because in the world of money and investing, time is not just helpful. Time is everything. Time is the one ingredient that no amount of money can ever buy back. Let me show you why with a simple picture. Imagine two people. Both are smart, both work hard, both earn roughly the same salary. The first person, let us call her Anna, starts putting money aside at 25. She invests a small amount every single month. Nothing dramatic, just consistent. The second person, let us call him Ben, waits. He tells himself he will start when he has more money, when things are more stable, when the time is right. Then starts at 35. Same discipline, same monthly amount. But Anna started 10 years earlier. By the time they both reach 60, Anna has roughly 2 to 3 times more than Ben. Not because she worked harder, not because she was smarter, simply because she started 10 years earlier and let time do the work. This is the power of compound interest. When your money earns a return, and then that return earns a return, and then that earns a return, the growth does not move in a straight line. It curves, it accelerates, it builds on itself. Slowly at first, then faster, then dramatically faster. Warren Buffett began investing at 11 years old. By the time most people start thinking seriously about money, Buffett had already been building for decades. The majority of his wealth came after the age of 50. Not because he suddenly got smarter at 50, but because the decades of compound growth finally reached their acceleration point. Time had done its quiet, powerful work. It is not about being rich today. It is not about being perfect today. It is about starting today. Even if the amount is small, even if you feel like it is not worth it yet, a small amount started today is worth dramatically more than a large amount started 5 years from now. That is not motivation talk. That is mathematics. And here is what makes this rule painful for many people. Time is the one thing you cannot get back. You can earn more money. You can learn new skills. You can change careers. The past is fixed. Do not waste energy on it. But today is not fixed. Today is still open. And the best time to start is always the same answer: now. If this lesson is changing the way you think about money, share it with one person in your life who needs to hear it. Someone who is waiting for the right time. Tell them the right time is today. Because the school taught you to work for money, no one taught you to make money work for you. And the earlier you let money start working, the harder it works, the longer it works, and the more it builds. Time is not just a factor. Time is the whole game. Do not waste another year waiting for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions never come. But time once gone never comes back either. Rule 6. Stop trading hours for dollars forever. Let me ask you something honest. If you stopped working tomorrow, how long would your income last? For most people, the answer is uncomfortable. 1 month, maybe 2, maybe less. Because most people have one source of income: their job, their time exchanged for a salary. And the moment that exchange stops, everything stops with it. This is called active income. You are active, you earn. You stop, it stops. You get sick, it stops. You take a holiday, it stops. Your income is completely dependent on your presence, your energy, your time. And here is the hard reality of active income. Time is limited. You only have 24 hours in a day. There is a ceiling on how much you can earn by trading time alone. No matter how hard you work, no matter how many extra hours you put in, you will always hit that ceiling. When you sleep, does your money sleep too? When you stop working, does your income stop too? When you get sick, does your bank account get sick too? If the answer to all three is yes, you are completely dependent on your own time. And that is a fragile place to be. The wealthy think differently about this. They do not just ask, how can I earn more? They ask, how can I build something that earns without me? They build passive income. Income that comes in whether they are working or resting, whether they are awake or asleep. Rental income from a property, money paid to you from investments. Some people call this dividends, a small online business, a system that generates value without requiring their constant presence. Now, I am not telling you to quit your job tomorrow. I am not telling you passive income is easy or instant. It is neither. Building a second stream of income takes time, effort, and patience, often years. But the direction matters. The intention matters. The habit of asking the right question matters. Remember Marcus, our engineer from Rule 1, the one who finished every month with nothing. Marcus took Rule 2 seriously. He started paying himself first. He took Rule 3 seriously. He started asking whether his purchases were assets or liabilities. And slowly, over time, he began building something small on the side. Nothing dramatic. A small investment account. A modest side project he worked on during weekends. It did not make him rich overnight. But for the first time in his adult life, Marcus had income that did not depend entirely on him showing up to one place every morning. That shift from total dependence on active income to even a small stream of passive income changed how Marcus felt about his life. He felt less trapped, less anxious, less one bad month away from disaster. The goal is not to work harder. The goal is to one day make working optional. Optional does not mean you stop. Most wealthy people never stop working. They keep going because they love what they do, not because they have no choice. That is the difference. Choice. Freedom. The ability to say yes because you want to, not because you have to. Start small. Look at what you already know. What skills do you have that could earn outside your job? What small amount could you invest consistently each month? What system, however modest, could you begin building today? You do not need to build an empire. You need to build a second door. A door that stays open even when your main door is closed. Because the school taught you to get a job. No one taught you to build something beyond it. Rule 7. Every dollar has two stories. Here is a question that sounds simple, but goes very deep. When you spend money, what exactly are you spending? Most people answer money. Obviously, I am spending money. But that is only half the answer. When you spend a dollar, you are not just spending that dollar. You are also spending everything that dollar could have become. This is called opportunity cost. And once you truly understand it, every financial decision you make will carry a second layer of meaning. Let me give you a small example. Imagine you buy a cup of coffee every morning on your way to work. $5. Nothing crazy. A small daily pleasure. Over 1 month, that is roughly $150. Over 1 year, it is close to $1,800. Now imagine, instead of spending that money on coffee, you invested it consistently, every year, for 30 years. With the power of compound interest from Rule 5, that daily coffee habit could have grown into a very significant amount. Not a small amount. A life-changing amount. Now, I am not telling you to stop drinking coffee. That is not the point. The point is not the coffee. The point is the thinking, the awareness, the habit of seeing every dollar not just as what it is today, but as what it could become tomorrow. You spend it once, you lose it forever. Or you invest it once, and it grows forever. Andrew Carnegie was born in Scotland in 1835. His family was poor. When he was young, they had almost nothing. They moved to America looking for a better life. Carnegie started working at 13 years old, earning very little. But from the very beginning, he treated every dollar with intention. He did not spend carelessly. He did not buy things to look successful. He asked one question about every dollar that passed through his hands. What is the best use of this? He built systems. He reinvested. He was completely focused and intentional about where his money went. He became one of the wealthiest men in history. And then, remarkably, he gave almost all of it away. Libraries, universities, foundations. He understood that money was not an end. It was a tool. And every dollar had a purpose, a direction, a story. Most people have a spending mindset. They see money as something to be used now, to be enjoyed now, to signal success now. The wealthy have an investing mindset. They see money as something to be directed, positioned, put to work with intention. A spending mindset asks, what do I want right now? An investing mindset asks, what does this dollar do next? This does not mean you never enjoy your money. Enjoyment is part of a healthy financial life, but there is a difference between conscious spending and unconscious spending. Conscious spending says, I choose to spend this here, and I know what I am giving up. Unconscious spending says, I wanted it, I bought it, I did not think twice. Start practicing the pause. Before any significant purchase, pause for 24 hours. Not for small things, not for groceries, but for anything that costs more than you would comfortably lose. In that pause, ask yourself 2 questions. Do I truly need this? And what could this become if I invested it instead? You do not have to choose investing every time. Sometimes the experience, the comfort, the joy is worth it. But make it a choice. A conscious, intentional choice. Not a habit, not a reflex. Not something that just happens because you walked past a shop. Every dollar has 2 stories. The story of what you bought and the story of what you could have built. The wealthy always read both stories before they decide. Rule 8. One decision changes everything. We have covered a lot of ground today. 8 rules, 8 ideas that school never put on your blackboard. And I want to take a moment before we close to bring them all together. Not as a list to memorize, as a picture to carry with you. Rule 1. School teaches you to earn, not to keep. The first step is simply awareness. You have a gap in your education. Now you know. Now you can fill it. Rule 2. Pay yourself first. Before your landlord, before your phone company, before anyone else. 10%. Your future self gets paid first. Rule 3. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take it out. Ask yourself about every big purchase, which direction is the money flowing? Toward you or away from you? Rule 4. Your lifestyle is your biggest enemy. Every raise is a test. Will you let your lifestyle consume it? Or will you protect half of it for your future? Rule 5. Time is the ingredient money cannot replace. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. Not next month, not next year. Today. Rule 6. Stop trading hours for dollars forever. Begin building something beyond your job, a second stream, a second door, however small. Begin. Rule 7. Every dollar has 2 stories. Before the big purchases, pause, read both stories. Then decide with intention, not impulse. 7 rules. And now the 8th, the most important one. None of these rules require you to be perfect. None of them require you to have a lot of money right now. None of them require you to change everything overnight. They require one thing. A decision. A single, quiet, firm decision that starting today, you will think about money differently. Not perfectly. Differently. Marcus made that decision. He did not become wealthy overnight. He is still building, but he is no longer finishing every month with nothing. He has an account he does not touch. He has a small investment growing slowly. He has a side project that earns a little. He is not where he wants to be yet, but he is no longer where he was. And the direction changed because of one decision. Diana made that decision at a vegetable stall with almost no income. One habit. One consistent, protected habit. For decades. That was her one decision. Andrew Carnegie made that decision as a 13-year-old boy with almost nothing in his pocket. Every dollar with a purpose. Every dollar with a direction. That was his one decision. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need a big salary. You do not need to wait until you understand everything. You need to decide that from today, you are someone who thinks about money with intention. Someone who knows the hidden rules. Someone who plays by them. The school taught you to work for money. No one taught you to make money work for you. Until today. Which rule hit you the hardest? Which one felt most like something you needed to hear? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one, and your answer might be exactly what someone else in this community needs to see today. Because that is what this is about. Not just your financial freedom, but a community of people who are all learning, all growing, all deciding together that the hidden rules of money will be hidden no longer. One decision, starting today. Before we finish, I want to say something that has nothing to do with rules or numbers or investments. You were never bad with money. You were just never taught. Nobody sat you down and explained the difference between an asset and a liability. Nobody showed you the power of paying yourself first. Nobody drew you a picture of compound interest and said, this is what patience looks like after 30 years. Nobody told you that your lifestyle, left unchecked, would quietly consume every raise you ever worked for. You were handed a system that prepared you to be a good employee, to show up, to work hard, to earn. And those things have value, but they are not the whole picture. They were never the whole picture. Today the picture is bigger. You now know 8 rules that most people will never learn. Not because they are not smart enough, not because they do not work hard enough, simply because nobody ever told them. and now somebody has. What you do with that knowledge is your decision. You can close this video and go back to the same patterns. Or you can choose one rule, just one, and begin applying it this week. Not perfectly, just intentionally. Pay yourself first this month. Look at one thing you own and ask honestly, asset or liability? Open a small investment account. Protect your next raise from lifestyle inflation. Start somewhere, anywhere. The distance between where you are and where you want to be is not as far as it feels. It is made of small decisions made consistently over time. That is all wealth ever is. Small decisions, made consistently, over time. Keep listening every day, and your English will grow alongside your mind. And your mind, once opened to these ideas, will never close again. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this lesson added something real to your life, share it. Leave a comment. Come back tomorrow. There is always more to learn, more to understand, more to build. Until next time, keep going. The rules are no longer hidden.